This is going to be a short overview video, not a review in any way, just a first hands-on overview of the newly released Bark River Aurora 3. And this is a very special knife to me personally, since I am sort of the designer behind this knife. And it all started on April 1st, not by accident, because this knife started as a April's Fool's joke, where I made a post in the official Bark River group claiming that a Aurora 3 would be released shortly. And then I had a photo and some specs of mine that I came up with. Specs that are very similar to the knife we have in front of us here right now. The Bark River Aurora 3 is a special kind of knife, I would say. Not your typical camp knife of sorts. Before we talk more about that and take a look at it, we can start by taking a quick look at the sheath that comes with it, the standard sheath. And this sheath is of course a lot different than the one you get with the Aurora 2 or the Aurora LT, Aurora Scandi or the original Aurora. This one is made for carrying in the belt like usual, like this with a typical belt loop. But you also have the molly strap, so you can scout carry it horizontal. You also have this fire steel holder that you can attach. You can of course strip it of everything and just go with the plain sheath, should you prefer that. So the knife itself, I kinda call this a field kitchen knife. People will say when they watch this video that you're holding a kitchen knife. That could be maybe correct in some senses. It does have the typical aesthetics of a kitchen knife of sorts, but it has a spine thickness, a blade thickness of 0.186 inches, which means it is a tad bit thicker, or quite a lot thicker actually, than most typical kitchen knives. It also weighs a bit more than your typical kitchen knife. This one is, I would say, depending on handle materials, but between 14 and 15 ounces. And that is perhaps a little bit heavier than most kitchen knives in this size. And the size is 13.2 inches overall length, with a blade length of 8.15 inches. And as you can see, there's also a bit of a ricasso going on here, so the actual edge length is more like 8.10, 8.08 inches. Still plenty of blade. And the steel used for this one is CPM 3V, which also happens to be one of my favorite steels because it is quite tough, fairly corrosion resistant, and it's also not that hard to sharpen nor to strop, which is a big plus to me. This particular knife is in pink G10, mosaic pins and black liners, of course. There's also a brass lanyard hole here. In fact, all my three Aurora 3s came with a brass lanyard hole, and I think that suits each respective handle material quite well. And they also all have matching mosaic pins. And before you ask me why I bought 3 of these knives, I will tell you that I did buy 4, or I pre-ordered 4 of them, but I'm still waiting for one since the handle material was currently out of stock. So that is why there are only 3 Aurora 3s here. Then again, it is my design. and you never know if there's going to be another run. So I felt like I wanted my share of it, and I guess we could take a look at the other two just to get a glimpse of different handle materials. Bark River, as usual, offers a pretty wide variety of handles. I will say though that when I last checked with DLT, they had about 15 or less different handle materials left for the Aurora 3. So there aren't many left in stock, and that is partially because of the very high number of pre-orders that were made of this knife. And the number of pre-orders is also one of the reasons why I was able to get this knife in production, because I had to gain a certain interest in it. And that is what I did when I made this post originally on April 1st, because what started out as a joke got momentum fairly fast, and people got really interested in the design, and I guess a lot of people wanted to see a larger sized Aurora. So I think that maybe my timing was somewhat good. Anyway, let's take a look at this one now. Here we see a handle material that is sort of new to me. I don't own any other knives from Bark River in white G10 with mosaic pins and pink liners. So white G10 is a new one for me. But I like the look of it. It looks very nice, kind of classy in my opinion. I'm not sure how well you can see the pink liners, but we can do some small close-up shots in a bit. Let's do it like that. And over here we have one of my new favorite handle configurations, which is black carbon fiber with mosaic pins and pink. The liners are really dark pink, to be honest. Once again, I'm not sure how well you can see it or if it is even in focus. But to me, this is one of the more spectacular looking synthetic handle materials. Wood will always look the best to me, especially burls and other exotic woods. You just can't get that kind of handle with synthetic material, in my opinion. And in hand, the handle is quite comfortable. It's like a larger Aurora 2 handle or Aurora 1 handle, but it's not too big, it's not too small. It just for my hands, it feels really good. You see, I have a lot of space left there. This works like sort of a guard for your finger. I think that my original design, I had a blade length set to 8.5 inches, but we decided to make it slightly shorter, and I think that was probably the right decision until we make a larger Aurora, should we ever make one. It's not like I feel the need for it right now, because this feels really solid, and it is quite a bit larger than the Aurora 2. I don't have the Aurora 2 here to compare with right now, but I will of course make that sort of comparison later on. But right now I just wanted you guys to get a quick glimpse of this knife, and like I said, there aren't that many left, so might be a good idea to head over to DLT and check them out. Because there is no guarantee if we're gonna see like a second run, or even if we are gonna see a second run, it's very uncertain when that run will ever be, so to say. But a field kitchen camp knife, that is what I call this one. I wanted to be able to do most things that you ask from a knife. And if you pair it with a other non-knife tool like a saw or a foldable saw or a axe, that should be I want it to be a super solid combo. I know that a lot of you are probably asking, can this knife chop? And it wasn't designed to be a chopper. There are many other knives designed for that, but still this one will be able to do some chopping. I mean, it is 8.15 inches blade length here at 0.187 inches spine thickness. So of course you will be able to do some light to medium chopping with our problem, as well as batooning or whatever you want to do. And once you've done, prepared your firewood, you can start preparing your dinner with this one. That is the concept of the field kitchen knife, now known as the Aurora III. So the light here is pretty crap right now, but I thought we could do some close-up of the black carbon fiber with the dark pink liners. Really not sure how well you can see this, but it is a really nice looking handle in my opinion. But capturing it on camera in these sort of settings, not a very easy task. You can take a look at the white G10 as well. With the dark pink liners there as well, if it's possible to see it. And finally we have the pink G10. With the black liners. I've got to say that these came out even better than I hoped for. And I had pretty high expectations of this model. And the final result to be even better than that is a pretty impressive feature, I've got to say.